Hello, Sonixinema have just released piano evolutions for the full version of Contact. This will not work within the free version of Contact. And what I love so much about this product is how flexible and versatile it is. You've got Normale, felt, mutes, plucks, percussive sounds. You've got multiple mic positions. You've got atmospheric layers. They've got this new Evo grid as well, where you can attach these 5 different sounds articulations to 4 different corners and mess around with the grid either with your mouse or using the mod wheel with these different presets that they have. And this Evo grid really comes alive when you use the rhythm page on this product as well, but we'll get into that later. Timestamps are at the bottom of the video if you want to skip to anything in particular, but this product will set you back. £119 is full price. The intro price is £95. But let's just see how it sounds out of the box. These different articulations, you do get a number of different presets as well, and again we will go through these in due course, but I just want to hear it without me touching anything. Now, out of the box, it has a really nice neutral sound, and even though this library focuses on piano evolutions, you still have flexibility in terms of your key release right here. You can hear those sounds, and you've got pedal noise as well, overemphasize or under, and then you've got player noise, which was those little movements you kind of heard within the demo. In terms of the mix, they've got their own mix, but there is close, mid and wide. You've got a proximity knob so you can go between them all. But if we just turn that reverb off and just have a quick listen to some of these mic positions. Overall, a nice variety of sounds, and you could definitely hear more of that player noise within those. I kind of wish you could turn the fire and atmosphere up a little bit more, but I really like the tonal quality and the difference between the tonal quality of the close and the mid. We'll go back to a nice little proximity for now. You'll also notice there's atmospheres in the background as well, similar to what we see with some of the Fracture sound libraries. You've got more than just the 4 on the screen. You've got these ones here as well. That's controlled by this master. Automatically these are turned off for default, which I quite like, but this is how it sounds with the atmospheric layers on. Of course, you can solo each of them, swap them out. You could almost completely get rid of this piano entirely and use this more as a pad-esque library. For some interesting underscoring. And not only do we have the atmospheric layers as well, we haven't even checked out the 4 other articulations, but you can also reverse these sounds as well, and they've got different lengths, everything from a 1/4 bar to 4 bars. So if you wanted to start stacking articulations, for example, let's put this on 2 bars and then turn our felt on as well. By clicking that, you can get really creative, and of course we're going to have to bring in our mix now as well. I love that. I forgot to turn the atmospheres off, but actually that sounded super cool, so I kept going. But here we go again. I really like the fact that they've added that and gone into such depth with the reverse, but let's temporarily turn that off. You'll notice you can do it for all of them except obviously the percussive sounds, and they're all 1/4 to 4 bars. But let's have that going regular. For now, we'll click that to turn it off, and we'll just listen to this felt one. Side by side with Normale. Really nice touch and a good balance of felt. You can't adjust how much felt is on that, but nevertheless a really nice alternative sound. Moving it over to our muted. Again, I just love the versatility of this library. Plucked. If we pan one of these left and pan one of these right, bring back in our Normale with some reverse, and we're going to go 1. Actually no, 1/4 bar, we're playing a lot quicker now. Honestly, it's so easy to get distracted with this library because there's so many ways to quickly and easily get creative with it. Anyway, let's turn all these things off and just listen to these percussive sounds. Now you've got a couple of different ones. If you scroll through here, you can see we've got everything from brushes, metal, broken strings, low strings, high strings, knocks, low taps, high taps, ticks. If we click all, as you can see, it has changed at the bottom. They've assigned everything to everything on the keyboard, but you do have an absolute range, and you can just pick individual stuff as well. But we'll click all for now so you can kind of hear what's going on. Now, I don't think the mic positions apply to the percussion, but bear in mind this is a pre-release copy, and there is one more small update due on this product before release. So please bear in mind this is a pre-release version. But anyway, this is the percussive sounds that you have. In all honesty, a little on the quiet side, but they're not the front and center of the library. Speaking of which, we must move on to this Evo. You access it by clicking this middle button here, and it is separate to this. So whatever's going on here is bypassed when you click this button. Now you've got 4 corners, A, B, C, and D, and you apply sounds by clicking these little buttons here. So on A we have Normale, B let's put felt, C mute, we'll put plucks on D, and then you can have it reversed or normal, and you'll notice you do have access to the quarter bar to 4 bars as well. You've got your proximity knob here as well. You don't have the 4 separate mic positions. It would have been nice maybe to have a little setting button to have access to that. You do over here for percussion to access the different sounds, and with atmosphere as well, you can pick a specific atmosphere to attach to each layer. Let's have ashfall, although again it's not obvious which one is automatically on. It would be nice to have a little dot next to it, or maybe something telling you what it is. But as I kind of said at the beginning, the mod wheel is attached to that little ball there, and you can be up and down, you've got circle, you've got a couple of different presets, and I like the fact that out of the box that is attached. Of course you can go in with your mouse or attach it to any parameters or pads that you have. The best way, in all honesty, to show off the Evo is by actually using some of their presets, because they're super cool. Again, I just love the creativity of this library. It's making me think differently of how I can actually use the piano instead of just the normal way that I do. I didn't think I would love this library as much as I do now. To get a little bit more creative with the Evo, firstly we're going to change presets. We'll pick a different one. We'll go for patina. And then we're going to go over to the rhythm engine as well and turn this on. And we'll pick a preset as well. We're not going to have the one out of the box. Now that's on in the background. Listen how funky this gets. Now bear in mind, especially with this and when you're using the pedal, you can get CPU spikages. Overall, it's actually very manageable with most of it, but you can see there's actually a ton going on, and with the pedal on we were peaking 400-500 voices, so I'm not surprised at that CPU spiking. So I would intermittently, as I kind of try to demonstrate there, use the pedal for emphasis. I really like the sound of the rhythm with the pedal, but as you could see there, we were, and probably here with some of the outs, we are getting a little bit of CPU spikeage, but nevertheless really cool. And again, I'm not surprised that spiking with 400-500 voices. We've got 4 different sounds with a ton going on with the pedal and an Evo grid, so that's just one of those things when you've got so much going on. But you can see the level of creativity you can achieve, especially with a beefier computer. If you just ignore the Evo, if we just have it slammed at C, and play it, I believe it would actually be absolutely fine. Close. Hitting 500 voices and 86% on the CPU. Nevertheless, super cool. Let's go for a different preset. Getting minimalist vibes with that, but there you go, a very basic look at the Evo and the potential that you can achieve there. I love just the customization that you can do, and this is obviously the first iteration of the Evo grid, so I'm curious to see how this evolves and updates, but you can apply plenty of effects on each. You've got EQ, space delay and drive. I like that bit of drive we had on that preset there, but very, I feel, simple and user-friendly and easy to wrap your head around. Of course, we already had a nice look at the rhythm engine there in the background. You've got lots of little presets, but you can also mess around and do what you want as well. I really like the random button personally. You can switch direction, you can have it go in both directions, affect the velocity and overall strength. But very simple and very easy to use. Now there's one more page we need to explore before we sign off, and that is the mapping page. This is super handy if you have multiple articulations going at once, and maybe you only want the Normale to play the top side of the piano, the felt, the bottom. Maybe we want our mutes, but we want them to sound an octave higher than they actually are for the whole thing. We can also have them fade in and out, so if you want a slight crossover between the two, we can do something like that. We'll drag that so slightly. Maybe we want our plucks but have them played an octave lower. We'll keep the percussion off and just see how this sounds. Again, just another tool allowing you to get even more creative. But there's a quick taster of Piano Evolutions. At the heart of it has a good sounding piano. I wouldn't say it's the worst in the world. I wouldn't say it's the best in the world. But what I love so much about this library is the creative potential of it. I like the multiple articulations, the way you can mix them together, the atmospheric layers, the multiple mic positions, the fact you can reverse it, the Evo grid, the rhythm. It just kind of makes you think differently about how you could use a piano, and you can quickly build up a really unique and interesting sound that other piano libraries don't quite offer. Not only that, it's very user-friendly and easy to do. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think of this library? Is there anything else out there quite like this? Please let me know. But I'll sign off now and then do a couple of different demos going through some of the different presets that you have with this library. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.